What's up, y'all? Decided to get up this morning, run the summit. Just run the summit. You ever have them days where you don't feel like you want to push yourself, but you know you need to? It was one of those for me. Maybe it's something in your mind or in your heart, but maybe it's both. But being unwilling to push yourself in the times that you need to is sure a way to fall back into a complacent mindset and maybe an old behavior, which may or may not have been extremely destructive for that person. I'm not saying that's where I'm at, but I've been wanting to challenge myself. I was thinking about it when I was running up the side of the mountain today. How many other mountains I've had to try to get over, or struggle getting over in my life. I was thinking about like getting to the top, and once again I'm always thinking about stories that resonate with me, and King David was one of those guys that always sticks out in my mind because the dude was he was grimy, but he was a man after God's own heart. And that says a lot. Murderer, adulterer, just a filthy dude. God said that about him. I just love that. Like how God picks people to be kings. Like realizing that David was a king before he was a king. And I believe that's the mindset that we've got to hold as people, but as men especially, knowing that God has appointed you to something. He's appointed you a king. And even though you don't have a throne, or you're not seated, or you're not elevated, you're not in your position just yet, keep running the mountain. Keep killing the lions and the bears and the wolves, and keep going through your spiritual boot camps. Like David didn't just show up one day and say, you come at me with a shield and a spear, but I come at you in the name of the Lord. This dude went through some stuff. He went through some things out there by himself. When he was a shepherd, he killed the lion, the bear, did it with his hands. He did that by himself. There wasn't nobody out there with him. He was watching sheep. How many people go out there to hang out with shepherds? Nobody. And I was thinking about how that applied to me, going through my spiritual boot, going through my life trials, my whatever you know what it was. But now when I stand in front of somebody who's struggling, or I'm with somebody who's in the middle of a mess, it's way different. I go back not just to the giants, because it really wasn't addiction. It wasn't drugs and alcohol that was my giants. It was fear and insecurity. Those fear and insecurities led to everything, me putting a Band-Aid on an spiritual arterial bleed. And so, I don't know really, I'm just kind of spitballing, but I got up to the summit today, and it was rewarding. But a lot of people don't see the work. Like, you see the picture of the summit, but you didn't see the work getting up this hill. You didn't see me screaming and pounding on my chest and feeling like I'm going to have a heart attack. And nobody's going to see that. You got to work hard by yourself. You and God, get back to the original blueprint. Work hard by yourself. Let him put you in the positions. Let him elevate you. Let him promote you. He knows what he's doing, man. He knew what he was doing when he was in the trap houses. He knew what he was doing with me with the 9 overdoses. He knew what he was doing with me when I had those 3 heart attacks. Listen, there's so much that I could tell you right now, but I'm not sure it's the time walking down this mountain and 2 inches from cars. But I just couldn't help but share with you that, remember your spiritual boot camps. Remember the things that God brought you through. Now, you may be standing in front of a giant right now, like I'm in an emotional one right now. And all I do is I look back on what he's brought me through. When I was in that overdose and I come out of it and used 2 drug dealers, two people of the world, didn't know a lick about nothing, biblical, and they saved my life, how he used them in a mighty way. when I think about that, I can look back on that one incident alone. I have a Rolodex, big Rolodex. That's for people who are older. Rolodex, I don't know if Google Notes or whatever it is now, but I look back at my Rolodex and there are so many things that I can see, so many lions, so many bears, so many wolves, that God gave me the strength. He gave me the power to slay those so that I could be prepared. I would be prepped and ready for such a time as this. It's time for giant slaying, y'all. Like, I don't know, living now, it ain't never. I don't know about anybody else. But I look back on my life and I see all the things that God and I went through before I started gathering stones from the river like he told me to go and plant one in the giant's head. You know, like, I love that part about that story where he went down to the river, he got 5 stones. Why would he need 5 stones if he only had one giant to kill? And if you read further, there were 4 other giants. And I'm sure that somebody along the line, when he went down there for 5 stones, when David went down there for 5 stones, somebody said, well, he just talked all that mess about God did this and God's going to do that for him. He's going to show up with God. Why does he need 5 stones? If he believes so faithfully, he should have just grabbed 1 stone. You know how it is. You know how it is. But God told him to do that because he had other giants to slay after the one he killed. Read further in 2 Samuel. You'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling now, but man, stay strong. Don't forget your spiritual boot camps. Don't forget what it takes to get up your heels. You find something in your life, go do something like this. I don't know. Push yourself. Push yourself. Believe in God. Have him push you up the hill. I know it worked for me, but like I say, when God gives you a mission, he tells you to get 5 stones, and somebody around you don't understand why you're putting 5 stones in your bag when they think you should only take 1. Remember the original blueprint, you and God. He speaks to you how he speaks to you. Speaks to me how he speaks to me. He was the one when you were alone with the sheep, killing all those wild animals. He's going to be there when you're standing in front of your giant, no matter what that is today. Drugs, alcohol, scratch-offs, porn, I don't know. Whatever it is, I know that there's nothing he can't do. If I can be free, anybody can be free. Man, I love y'all. Have a blessed day.